Hello, people! I'm Wesley, your host, with my happy little sidekick, Clementine. Are you a good girl? Are you a happy girl? Today's conversation is about setting goals and focusing on one goal at a time on your way to become a healthier you. It's time for another Wesley Podcast online talk show episode thingy brought to you by the good folks at Healthy West Orange. So here we go. On with the show. Of course, I'm joined by our producer, Luna.
Hello, Wesley, and hello, listeners. Ready to have some fun?
You bet. I like goals. Goal! Soccer goals, hockey goals, any kind of sports goal. Even for sports that don't have goals, like speed walking or swimming.
I'm sure there are plenty of people who swim or walk who have goals. Maybe just finishing with a personal best time.
Ooh, a personal best. I like the sound of that.
Yep, maybe today you can achieve a personal best with this show.
Game on, Luna. Let's get started on this goal with our guest today, Lisa Cooper. She's a registered dietitian from the Center for Health Improvement at Orlando Health, with over 30 years of experience helping people improve their diet and health. So start the fancy fanfare and welcome to our show, Lisa Cooper.
Hey, Wesley.
Great to have you with us today. Let's start off with just what are goals? I know Clementine has a goal to one day figure out where I hide her treats.
Well, a goal is an idea of something you'd like to see done in the future. And it may be different for different people. And I've worked with a lot of people that are looking to make a lifestyle change. So maybe it's a goal about eating healthy, or maybe it's a goal about exercising or moving more. So it really depends on the person and what they want to achieve. But you can set a goal for work, for school, or in any area of your life.
Okay, and what makes goals so useful?
So when you're setting a goal, it's because you want something to change or happen in the future. It helps you to create a plan. So you want it to provide some direction. It helps with motivation, and it really helps you to focus. So that's why it's important to use a goal in setting up future plans.
Okay. Do you have an example of that?
Yeah, it'd be like, let's say you decided you wanted to run a 5K. So you would maybe plan your goal to download an app to help you run a 5K. And then you'd say 3 times a week, I'm going to use my app at 5 o'clock to practice running that 5K. So that over time, at the end of maybe 3 weeks, you're practicing and getting ready for their 5K.
So, what does a good goal look like? Oh, like this?
Yeah, if your goal was to make a goal. But some ideas is like by following the SMART outline, you can eat healthy, for example. So maybe your idea is to eat 1 apple a day, every day, packed in your lunch, 5 days a week. So it's a SMART goal. It's measurable, it's very specific, and it's very doable.
Okay, so goals can be different things to different people, right?
Absolutely, yes. So a goal might be set around schoolwork. So you want to maybe get better in your English class and writing. So you set a goal to sit down with your teacher twice a week to work on writing English papers. Or it could be about work, and at work, maybe you want to get a project done. So you really have a timeline you needed to get it done in, and you set specific timeline and dates that you want to get things accomplished. Maybe you want an exercise goal, so you want to start walking 1 day a week. It can be around anything you want it to be. And then the last one would be eating healthy. You could start packing your lunch, or maybe you start cooking dinner at night instead of going out to eat.
Okay, so I have a question now. Can goals ever be a problem?
Yeah, sometimes if you set it like too broadly, so it really doesn't give you much direction. And you also need to track it so it keeps you focused on what you really want to achieve.
Okay, so what should I do when I achieve the goal?
Well, you celebrate, of course. You want to reward yourself with something special. Maybe it's going to the movies or buying yourself that favorite pair of earrings or setting aside special time to hang out with people.
So, what are the top 3 things you want our listeners to remember when it comes to setting goals?
Well, I want to go back to that SMART goal. You want to make sure it's SMART, so it's specific, measurable, attainable, realistic, and timely. And keeping that in mind, let's talk about sleep as a goal. So let's make it specific and measurable. It would be, I want to sleep 7 hours a night. And the way I'm going to do that is 4 nights a week, I'm going to take a bath before I go to bed. So that's specific and it's measurable. And then you want to be able to, number 2, track your progress. Am I getting that sleep I need? So maybe you could use your Fitbit to track it, or you can write it down what time you're going to bed and what time you're getting up to see if you've met it that number of times a week. And then the third thing to think about is, you can change it. Maybe that bath really isn't working for sleeping. Maybe you need to do something else instead. So maybe you're going to read a book or drink some warm milk. So it's okay to adjust your goals if you need to, if it's not achieving the end result that you're looking for.
See, that's so important to remember. Well, thanks. Now are you ready to have some fun?
You betcha.
Okay, it's time to play 5 things we now know about our guest because they are here on our show and worked really hard on coming up with the questions last night. Okay, Luna, start the goal-setting timer thing. First question. Favorite sport that does not have goals?
That's a trick question. Because is it about making a goal, like kicking the football through the goal? Or is it about performance? Like, I'm going to set a goal to get better during my performance. So it's any sport at that point. But if you're really asking me about my favorite sport, I would say it is rowing or crew.
Great. What do you like to put on ice cream?
Pecans.
Yum. Name an animal you wanted as a pet as a child, but never had.
I always wanted a horse. Never got it, though.
I love horses, too.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. How often do you make it to midnight on New Year's Eve?
Well, every year I definitely am there at midnight, but I may not be awake. But most times I do, yep.
Last time you stood up for a standing ovation?
That's funny. Every time I stand up for a standing ovation. So that's a good one.
Well, great job. Thanks for sharing and thank you for playing 5 things we now know about our guest because they are here on my show and worked really hard to come up with these questions last night.
Thanks, Wesley. It was really fun to be here. I enjoyed chatting with you, and I hope you enjoyed our goal-setting session.
I did. Thanks for being here. Lisa Cooper is a registered dietitian from the Center for Health Improvement at Orlando Health and has been our guest today talking with us about setting goals and focusing on one goal at a time along your journey to becoming a better you. Luna, what have you got for us this week?
Okay, here's my thing. So this is a real problem that I've been thinking about lately. Go on basically any website, and I'm sure you'll see ads for all sorts of ridiculous miracle diets. Lose 50 pounds in 3 weeks and all that nonsense. And it's so dumb because mostly they don't work, and even if they do, they don't last. More than that, though, it's not okay to be building our society around these values. Seeing this stuff anywhere just reinforces the idea that we're not good enough if our bodies don't match up with some arbitrary standard. And that's so harmful. It's in the way we talk about eating, the way so much guilt is inherently associated with certain foods. Like, I've got a friend who struggles with this stuff, and I want to support them, but it's hard to know when talking about nutrition and working out starts triggering disordered thoughts for them. It's difficult. More difficult for them, of course, but you want to support friends and family. It's hard when what you're saying just makes it worse. We have to talk about this kind of stuff more as a society, or it's never going to change. So, what do you think? You can tweet at HWO Wesley.
Well, that's the end of another show. Subscribe to our podcast if you liked it, and follow me on Twitter at HWOWestley. To learn more about becoming a healthier you, visit healthywestorange.org or connect with us on Facebook, Twitter, or Instagram. My thanks to our producer, Luna Martinez, for all her hard work. And to all our listeners out and about in healthy West Orange, thanks for letting us be part of your day. Make it a great one. I'm Wesley. Say goodbye, Clementine.